Hey girlies, welcome back. And if you are new here, I am so glad you found this today, because this video is one I have genuinely been excited to make. We are talking about the old money aura, that specific kind of polish and effortlessness that makes someone look like they have always had everything, even when they have not spent a single dollar to get there. And here is what most people get wrong about this. They think old money is about what you own, the bag, the shoes, the outfit. But the women who actually have that aura, the ones who walk into any room and immediately read as refined, elevated, untouchable, they are not doing it with money. They are doing it with 6 very specific psychological tricks that have nothing to do with your bank account. And once you know what these tricks are, you will start seeing them everywhere. So let's get into it. Trick 1 is about stillness. And I want you to really sit with this one because it is so counterintuitive in the world we live in right now. We are surrounded by movement, noise, reaction, constant stimulation. Everyone is fidgeting, scrolling, adjusting, reacting, and that constant movement, as small and unconscious as it is, signals one thing to everyone watching: restlessness, anxiety, the need for external validation. The old money aura is built on the opposite of all of that. It is built on stillness. When you are still, when you can sit in a room without touching your phone, without adjusting your hair, without shifting in your seat every few seconds, you radiate a kind of quiet confidence that most people have never learned to perform because they have never learned to feel it. So here is the practice. In your next social situation, put your phone face down and leave it. Sit with both feet on the floor. Let your hands rest naturally in your lap. And when you feel the urge to fidget, take one slow breath instead. Stillness reads as power. And power is the foundation of every old money aura you have ever admired. Trick 2 is about the way you use your voice, and this is one of the most overlooked elements of presence that exists. Most people speak too fast. They rush through their sentences because they are unconsciously afraid that if they slow down, they will lose the other person's attention. But here is the truth. Rushing your words signals that you are not sure your thoughts are worth hearing. It signals insecurity. The women who have that old money, effortlessly elevated quality to their presence, they speak slowly and deliberately. They let their words land before moving to the next ones. They are comfortable with a pause mid-sentence, and that comfort signals certainty. It signals that they have never once doubted that what they are saying is worth listening to. So starting today, slow your speech down by about 20%, lower your volume slightly, not so quiet that people strain to hear you, but quiet enough that people lean in. A voice that people have to pay attention to is infinitely more magnetic than one that fills every available space with sound. Trick 3 is about your face, specifically the tension your face holds without you realizing it. This is something I find so fascinating because it is completely invisible until you know to look for it, and then you see it everywhere. Most of us are walking around with a significant amount of unconscious facial tension. Our jaw is slightly clenched, our forehead is lightly furrowed, the muscles around our eyes are tight, and all of that tension is a direct transmission of our internal state, stress, self-consciousness, the effort of trying to appear a certain way. The old money aura is characterized by a face that looks at ease, relaxed, like the person wearing it has never once felt the need to prove anything to anyone. So here is what I want you to do every single morning. After you wash your face, take 30 seconds to consciously release every muscle in your face. Drop your jaw open slightly. Unclench your back teeth. Smooth your forehead with your fingertips. Let your eyes soften. Then take 3 slow, deep breaths where your stomach expands fully. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and ease response, and the relaxation shows up immediately on your face. A relaxed face reads as confident. A tense face reads as trying. And old money never tries. Trick 4 is about how you treat other people, and this is the psychological trick that most people completely miss when they are trying to build an elevated presence. There is a specific quality that every truly high-status, old money woman has in social situations. She makes other people feel like the most interesting person in the room, not because she is performing interest, because she is genuinely curious. She asks one good question and then actually listens to the answer. She does not interrupt. She does not redirect the conversation back to herself immediately. She holds space for the other person to be seen, and here is the psychology behind why this works so powerfully. People associate how you make them feel with who you are. If you make someone feel interesting and valued and heard, they will walk away from that interaction thinking you are one of the most captivating people they have ever met, even if you barely spoke. Especially if you barely spoke, the art of making other people feel good is the most underrated social currency there is, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Trick 5 is about your physical environment, and specifically about one habit that separates people who look put together from people who look expensive. And that habit is slowness in your daily rituals. I know that sounds strange, so let me explain. Old money is associated with leisure, with never being in a rush, with having enough ease in your life that you can take your time with things. And even if your life is genuinely busy and full and rushed, you can create that impression in small ways that compound into something people feel about you. When you pour your coffee, do it slowly. When you pick up your bag, do it with one calm, deliberate movement. When you apply your skincare or your perfume, treat it like a ritual rather than a task to be completed. These micro moments of intentional slowness rewire how you experience your own day, and they show up in your energy in a way that other people perceive as grace, as ease, as the particular kind of unhurried quality that we have always associated with old money. Trick 6 is the one that ties everything together, and honestly the one I think about the most. It is about selectivity. Old money taste is not about having the most. It is about having the right things and caring deeply about the quality of what you let into your life. And you can apply this principle to every single area of your appearance and presence without spending anything. Be selective about your words, say fewer, make them count. Be selective about your reactions. Not everything deserves your energy or your expression. Be selective about your attention. Give it fully when you give it, and withhold it when something does not deserve it. Be selective about your aesthetic. A simple, clean, consistent look always reads as more expensive than a maximalist one because it signals that you know exactly who you are and you do not need to prove it with volume. Selectivity is the psychological foundation of the old money aura because it communicates one thing above everything else. I have standards, I know my own taste, and I do not compromise it for anyone. That quality, that quiet, unshakable discernment is what every old money aura is actually built on. And it is completely, entirely free. So here is the full picture. 6 psychological tricks that cost you nothing and compound into something people cannot ignore. The stillness that signals power. The unhurried voice that commands attention. The relaxed face that reads as ease. The genuine curiosity that makes others feel seen, the slowness in your daily rituals that creates an impression of grace, and the selectivity that tells the world you have standards. None of this requires a single purchase. None of it requires a different wardrobe or a new address or a different life. It requires attention, it requires practice, and it requires the decision to start carrying yourself like someone who has always known her own worth. Because that is the real secret behind every old money aura you have ever admired. It was never about the money. It was always about the certainty. And certainty is something you can choose, starting right now. Keep glowing, girls.